I don't know what's happening. I've rearranged everything. It all looks different. Hi, it's been 3 months.
Been sitting here this whole time.
Yeah, just wondering what was going to happen. Welcome everybody back to Forbidden Lands. I've changed the drapes. I was gonna say I've grown a beard, but I had a beard last time. My background is much less impressive, and all my friends are here for the first time in months. Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Doing well.
Good.
We're alive.
Good. We're starting a little bit late, but I mean, what RPG session starts on time ever?
Let's see if it's been 3 months since you've seen each other.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. How else are we going to talk about all of the things that we've watched in that time? Okay, so this is session 7, but we're coming back after a break, and so I feel like a recap may be in order, which means I actually have to bring up my notes.
I can come. Arland opened his mouth. Everyone got in trouble. That's how it always works.
I mean, that is not at all inaccurate at all. I was going to do something overwrought and clever, and I ran out of time and energy to do that. So I have a bullet list of things that you did. Which is
what you did.
Well, I mean, I could tell the story of what happened, but you know, the story, like, part of the whole thing about this game is that the stories and the truth are not necessarily the same thing. So, but this is as I remember it, because like a good GM, I did not watch every episode of what we did.
So you're an unreliable narrator?
I am an unreliable narrator, which is terrible when you're in charge of doing like the entire world.
Awesome.
So, on the first day of Spring Rise, after the snows had melted, 3 of you, because you hadn't met the 4th member of your party at the time, left the village of Crossing to go seek your treasure and glory. And as you did, you encountered all kinds of random stuff. Minotaur fighting some soldiers out of the south. You explored a haunted tower that was also the home of a manticore, because there's always a manticore somewhere. You were attacked by harpies looking for shiny things to line their nests with. And once you had gotten a modicum of riches, you had headed back to the village, which incidentally is ruled by a semi-retired bandit, and his gang, and you discovered it being plagued in the night by night wargs, these massive hounds made of living shadows. You had also discovered that that Solista, this dwarven smith that has kind of been co-opted into taking care of the bandits' gear among all of her regular duties, has been feeding information to a group of slavers that parked themselves a few miles outside of the town, just waiting for word about when it would be a good time to raid. As things go in this game, you ran afoul of the night wargs. They unfortunately did in Nissel's companion Cloud, the wolf, leaving no remains.
That's my least favorite bullet point so far. So.
I just want to express how sad it was for you.
It was.
Yeah.
Some minor chords playing in the background. It was really sad.
Yeah, yeah, it was rough. I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
It's been a year already, and it's February.
There are Rust Brother heads in a bag.
There are. You had discovered that there was a pair of Rust brothers that were responsible for the Night Wargs, and you went and dispatched them out of, in vengeance.
Justice.
Sure. Same difference. Again, whether it was vengeance or justice depends on who's telling the story, I guess. So that was taken care of. You, in the process, had met Tornauld, the Wolfkin druid, at the local inn, ironically called the Muggin Druid. It was named for a different druid, but there always seems to be at least one there. You had also gotten proposition. It's not the word I was looking for. There's a woman who's a member of a group called the Raven Sisters, who had asked that you escort her to a nearby village called the Hollows, because she's afraid some other member of her sect is in trouble there. Which you had agreed to, but not until after you handled the bandits, which Umlaut, the orc, played by Neil, had cut a deal with the bandit leader to drop all the hostilities if you'll take care of this problem, right? And that's kind of where we had left off after briefly getting lost in the woods, trying to find this camp. You had eventually gotten there. It is night on the 10th of Springrise. 10 days. A lot has happened in that 10 days.
Yeah.
And Arland, the halfling minstrel, has cleverly convinced the slavers that he's just this poor wandering, weary traveler that wants to share their fire and maybe trade a song and a hearty meal for a spot at their fire. The other three of you are all successfully
Seated at your stealth checks.
We're preparing to hug them.
Yes. Does it count if you hug them with knives?
Well, I think
Yes.
as long as the arms go around and
then it's affectionate, right? I get you. I did, like a good GM, go back and watch the last episode, so I do know everybody had succeeded at their stealth rolls. I'm going to get rid of some of these oddball rolls that I had for testing on the chat, because I think the last roll that we actually made was Arland.
yeah, it should have been Arland, I think, was the last one.
Oh God, I made a lot of rolls.
It's good to, double check, triple
There
check.
it is. Arland quick
There it
rolls. Manipulation. You pushed, and you got one success. Which
I don't even
means,
remember what I was pushing for.
because they almost weren't going to let you in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You pushed so that you your manipulation roll.
I mean, they were going to let me in. Just under what circumstances would they let me? Would I be coming into their camp? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it could have been catastrophic.
It still can be.
It usually is.
There's still time for catastrophe. There's always catastrophe in the banana stand. So I'm gonna. Oops, that's not what I want. I want the big map because it's pretty. I don't know why it's being a jerk, but it is being a jerk. So, that's where we begin. In this darkened forest, there is light flickering from from the campfires within the center of the camp. Casting shadows outside, so we can kind of see the three silhouettes of the adventurers, like huddled in the darkness, as Arland, you are mounted, I should say, on a horse that has been taken from the Rust brothers. There's definitely something wrong with this horse. Liberated.
Yeah.
They've been feeding it something, and it makes it mean. But but you're unmolested as you come in. All of these rough looking people, men, women, mostly like humans and half elves. You see a couple of orcs, a goblin or two among them. They look like they've been here for a while. They've been in this camp for a while. You can see that it's like all like the ground is all matted from feet. They've got some horses like off to one side of the camp. It looks like they've I don't want to say they've been living rough, right? Like they're not starving or anything, but like these are people who they go out and they raid other villages and take their people. They're not cooks or anything. Like it's pretty meager. What would you like to do? As they all kind of stare at you, like, and the loot on your back. L-U-T, not
I'll give everyone friendly waves. These guys are called the Blood Ferrets, right?
The Bone Ferrets.
Bone Ferrets.
Yes.
Does it look like I'm actually being guided towards like a fire?
Yeah, like, yeah, they, it does. Like, they had said that they'd take care of your horse. They're, eventually you're going to have to get off the horse, right?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and they kind of lead it over and
Do they help him get down from the horse?
I guess that's up to you.
No, I'll hop down, no problem.
Yeah.
I will kind of go to like if there's like a bigger fire where there's a larger crowd, right?
Yeah, there's actually 2 fires. So there's about 24 people in this camp. It looks like some of them are probably like support, like people who take care of horses. Like it's not like an army's camp followers, but there's people who are better with an axe than others. So they don't send everybody out at the same time. But most of them look pretty capable. But yeah, there's definitely like 2 fires, and there's some like crossover between the 2 of them, but they tend to stay like kind of in these 2 separate groups inside the overall camp.
Okay. You said one kind of looked more like followers and one looked more like the
no, sorry. It's more that like not everybody is like a hard ass like warrior in here. Like some people, like there's clearly a lot of those, but there's also a few people that are like, oh, these are the people that are kind of in charge of taking care of the horses or like managing.
Setting up camp, bringing down camp, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And those two groups have kind of formed their own. No, okay.
No, it's not that those two groups have formed their own. It's that like a mix of both have formed two groups, right? So it's like this was a unified camp, and now like
is there obvious like tension between the two groups? Like they're kind of glancing at each other, or like.
You want to make me an insight?
Hell yeah, I do.
Roll dice.
With my wits of 3 and no insight.
Let's get to the good parts of this game: rolling dice and messing up.
Yeah. Oh boy. Woo! Right off the bat.
Yeah, it's real hard to tell. Oh wait.
So go ahead. Go say what you're gonna say, because I gotta let you say it, and then I gotta decide.
Okay. So yeah, it's hard to tell if it's just that like I said, there's like 24 people here, right? So it could just be that they have like 2 fires, because you can't get much more than 12 people around one fire comfortably.
Arland is going to be looking for any advantage he can on this, so he's going to like really pay a little extra attention, and so I'm going to push.
Okay. Sounds good.
I don't like how pushing rolls. That's okay. I didn't hurt myself, at least.
You didn't hurt yourself. Yeah, it's like
break.
You're just not familiar enough with it to like really pick out the dynamic. Also, hello chat. I see folks have shown up, so I just want to acknowledge that.
Hello chat.
Hey Matt, you don't have a pride yet, do you?
Oh, I do. I get it. Yeah, I get a pride. I don't know what that is yet. All right.
Do you want to think about what your pride could be?
Do you want to jump to them while I think about my pride?
That was gonna be what I was gonna do. I was gonna say, like, as you're like sussing out this, you're kind of led over to one of the fires, and pretty beefy orc. Like Umlaut's pretty good size. This guy looks like he spends much more time like practicing swinging an axe around than Umlaut. And he says, "So you come offering us a song, eh? Well, sit down, tune up, bring this one a drink."
I will do just that.
Yeah, let's hear a song or a tale. It's been precious few of those in the last months. Meanwhile, out in the woods, the 3 of you, Nissel, Umlaut, and Tornauld, you're kind of at the periphery of this camp, right? So it's hard to like see much in the way of detail about what's going on inside, like while you're at the edges. So what would you 3 like to do?
Does he look safe? Is everything going the way that was planned? Was there a
How
plan?
far can we see into the camp?
So you can see people milling around, right? You
Can we still see Arland?
There's a point where you lose him, right? Like, yeah, because it's a good sized camp, and like you were stopped, basically by the people who are assigned to guard duty, who come a distance out from the camp. So you can hear chatter, you can hear voices. You don't hear any violence. you may. I guess this is up to Arland, but you may like be able to pick out, you know, loot strings being adjusted. But even that would be hard to discern over, like, you know, just all of the freaking noises of 24 people and their horses, and something that sounds like either barking or grunting. You're not real sure. There's a lot of confusing sounds.
Mm-hmm. And our objective only at this point was to just scout this shit out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nissel wants to make his way. Yeah, let me figure out how to talk first. 1 second. Nissel wants to make his way over to the horses, I think.
Okay.
If they're on the outside edge, which I'm assuming they wouldn't be in the middle of the camp, but yeah, as long as he can keep on the outside edge there and creep around, he'd stalk around there and see if he can scope out the horse situation.
Okay.
And, yeah, get
Sweet.
some info on that.
Nice. You wanna make a stealth roll to like get in?
I don't know if I really want to.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't frame that as a request. If you would like to do that, you will need to make a stealth roll.
The upside is that we are at nighttime still, correct?
You are at night, and you are nocturnal, so you have like no problem seeing.
I also could spend a willpower point for automatic stealth success, worst case scenario.
That's true.
You have to roll first, and then if you need, you can willpower it up.
Oh, I got a feeling, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm definitely gonna spend a willpower point.
Okay.
The dice are hot so far. The dice are hot.
Yeah.
Do you not have any? Do you not have any dice in stealth?
I'm terribly
right.
I'm not stealthy.
Yeah, you're a rider. That's right.
I normally ride a wolf. Matt, do you remember? His name was
Wolf
Cloud.
was the stealthy one.
His name is Cloud. He was a sweet, sweet boy. Sean killed him.
Nightworms killed him. Don't blame me. So before you decide whether or not you want to push or not, like you're trying to get in, and I think the problem here is that like you kind of have to like get close enough to see what's going on. You're gonna have to leave the cover of the trees.
Okay.
Just because there's enough, like the underbrush has kind of been stamped down. You know, the horses have been here long enough to like chomp away a lot of like the underbrush and grass and shit, and that like it's nighttime, yes, but there's still campfires, and like there's a real risk of exposure here.
Okay. Yeah, so Nissel will then have to get down super low and basically do the Rambo army crawl, out and across the more trampled down field region.
Awesome. So that's going to be your push.
Yes, that is my push.
Awesome. Let's see how this goes. So that's a 0. So you're army crawling, like across this.
But I can spend my willpower point. Right? For automatic stealth success?
You can.
Yeah.
If you
So
would like to.
I'm marking that off.
You're gonna.
I have
you're gonna
10
do that.
right now.
Oh yeah, spend that shit. Don't hoard it.
Yeah. Yeah, so
You
I
can
marked
get
that off.
plenty. All you have to do is roll a bunch of dice and fail.
Yeah.
Willpower is easy to get. Yeah, so you're crawling across, and like you stop for a minute, and as like a pair of boots like passes in front of your vision. If you had like not had that like moment of insight and that instinctive because that's a goblin thing, right? Spending the
Yeah, that's a goblin thing.
yeah. So like that instinct of being sneaky, then you would have been just like staring down somebody's boots for a minute, but you stop just in time for them to come in, like tie up Arland's horse. I should say your horse. And like pat one of the horses on the neck before walking off.
I'm wondering how many of these guys scoped out the fact that the horse's neck is covered in blood from when Nissel was petting it with his bloody hands.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Thankfully, luckily it's nighttime.
Luckily, it's dark and like, yeah. But yeah, you managed to get up close to the horses. Apparently, you must still smell like the one you've been riding because they don't seem to react.
I did sleep with the one that I slept in the stable with. Well, I tried. Remember, it kept on attacking me, so I slept in the next door stable.
Yeah.
So when it hurt,
you just peed at it. I remember that.
Yeah, there was a peace incident.
This is what I smell like. Get used to me.
I was trying to make friends.
Look, making friends sometimes takes a long time, especially when you're an adult.
And sometimes it involves pee.
Yeah. I guess if you go to the right places. Umlaut, Tornauld, what? So Nissel has gone to sneak over to the horses. What are the two of you planning on doing?
Mr. Umlaut, what are we doing here? Like,
scouting.
I don't know how to do that. Is there anyone like that needs like counseling or
oh god,
or healing? Do one of these?
All right, Uma's trying to determine
That's right.
who is
Tornauld
most
doesn't know who
likely
these
to get
people are.
murdered.
He's picking out of it too.
Like these fine campers here. There might be some that have like blisters on their feet from walking around, or they may have gotten injured in some way. Do they need my help?
Before too long, I'm sure one of our friends will need your help.
Okay, I think I'm going to stay right here.
I'm just not sure if it's the halfling or if it's going to be the goblin.
I can't see any of them right now. I can hear the lute music, but yeah.
Best to use your ears.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I've got them pointing every which way.
I'm going to go try to get a peek at the halfling.
Okay, I will stay here in this thicket.
Excellent plan.
Yes. Let me know if you need any healing. Just call out my name if you need me, okay? Come running.
Do I know your name?
Have we not been introduced?
I mean, you've been traveling together for a couple of days now.
We went and killed two people together.
My name is Tornauld. I'm the wolf guy you've been working with for a couple of days.
Wolf guy will do.
Okay, I'll answer to that. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
He's cooperative.
You're
So yeah, Umlaut is
Mr. Tornauld. Would you go Mr. Orc? Is that okay if I call you Orc?
That's racist.
Is that?
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, I gotta go get eyes on the halfling before things go horribly wrong.
Before he dies in the next scene.
All right.
So yeah, Umlaut is trying with his mad stealth skills to get over to where he can see Arland because he's terrified. Well, as terrified as he's gonna get of any of these guys, of him getting hurt because yeah, I mean, the goblin, can kind of sort of fend for himself, but the halfling, has not proven to be able to handle himself to this point. He's just
At one point, he almost died to leeches.
yeah.
Okay.
He is most likely to need rescue the soonest.
Okay. I'm still not sure what we're doing here, but I'll have.
Just listen for the goblin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Got an unmistakable voice. I got it.
cool. So it sounds like you're trying to sneak in closer as well, right?
Yeah. I want to be able to see Arland. Like him being out of view is super uncomfortable.
It feels like we let a 2-year-old wander off into the night. Not because he's not capable. He's just, he has a knife and that's it, and a kitchen. A knife and a kitchen.
The meme, and Arlen's like, who else? Like, what do you have? And I'm like, a knife, and he's like, no.
No.
Okay. So I don't have your character sheet open, and I'm not looking at my books because I'm a terrible human being. What kind of armor are you wearing?
Let's see. I am wearing chainmail.
Shoot.
So the most quiet of armor.
Quietest of armor.
quietest.
Yeah.
The quietest of armor. I don't think that it inherently gives you like.
What if he covered his chainmail in egg carts? Like the egg carton things, Would that help?
I feel like the process of doing that would probably be noisier than anything else. Yeah. I just couldn't remember if there was like an inherent modifier for wearing armor. I don't see anything about that though. And there's there's plenty of other noises like going on that would probably mitigate the worst of it, right?
Right. Some of them are wearing chainmail, presumably.
Yeah.
Or not. I would like to hear not.
I've got.
It's okay. It's okay if they're not wearing.
Honestly. Yeah.
All right. So then just straight up agility roll.
Just straight up. I mean, I guess unless you have stealth.
I do not have stealth.
Have stealth. So yes, straight up agility.
Hey.
Well.
Oh, look at that.
Let's get some willpower points.
Start stacking
how
those up.
are you doing on willpower?
Oh, let's take a look here and see. I've got 3 willpower.
3 willpower. Okay.
Come on, Mr. Wizard, you need more than that.
There's a lot there. Like as you start going, like picking your way through, you realize there's a lot of people in here, and many of them are armed, and you're large, right? So try to find shadows that you can actually get into and to break up your bulk is a challenge. You kind of have to pick your way through pretty slowly. And you see somebody passing just a few feet away from you. Did you want to push your roll?
I do, yeah. So if I paw, I just totally freeze as the person's going by, so I don't make any, crack any additional branches under my giant feet. And then I start trying to sneak along again.
Cool.
Come on.
Oh, not so much. I think the problem here. Let's see.
I'm a big fucking orc.
You're a big fucking orc. I think so. So what happens is as you try and step into into a shadow cast. Sorry, by a sizable tree, and as you slip in, you missed the guy who was basically just finishing relieving himself, because you're still at the edge of camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm not trying to be gross here. He doesn't like pee on you or anything. It's just that like he's just about done, and like the two of you do that thing where you're like you come around the same side coincidentally at the same time, and there's a like he's a human. You could smell his breath from here. I mean, there's not a lot of, toothbrushing available out in the middle of the woods.
Well, hygiene isn't big in the Forbidden Lands.
Yeah. Hygiene's for elves. And so there's a second where like the two of you kind of bump into each other, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. And then like he looks at you and you realize that the two of you are dressed entirely differently. Like, I know that you guys have been traveling, but you've spent the last few nights in the inn, like before this foray out of town. So there's like that moment where he just assumed that you were one of his companions and then realizes that you are not. And he's like, what the hell? And like moves to step back. And I'm gonna ask Freddy, what are you doing right now?
I'm basically I watched Umlaut, I guess, stumble his way over to the tree because he's the only one I can see.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm seeing that, and I'm like, oh no. I look around as like for anyone else to like.
It's just
did you see that? And I'm like, no, of course, I'm the only one here. Shit. So I need to help Umlaut. And so what I have to do is, what do I have? I grab my satchel. I have a satchel of herbs, hallucinogenic herbs.
Okay.
And I'm going to, as quietly and quickly as I can, rush up to that one soldier and just in his face. Just so he can say, I saw an orc, but like, and things flying around. And so I want him to hallucinate so nobody will believe that they saw Tornauld.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I believe that would be like a poisoner talent that I have.
Right, because the poisoner allows you to make poisons, right?
Yeah, and I have these herbs which are I know will be hallucinogenic. I gathered them before, yes.
Right. So the question is like, what are we gonna roll to see, like, how effective you are at actually, like, not making them but delivering them to the target, right?
Right.
Either roll stealth or some kind of attack to either throw or something.
You know, neither of those will go well, but I think that would be like a melee, wouldn't it? I mean, I think that'd be like the closest thing. Like, I'm not trying to like, bash his head in, but I gotta make contact,
I think
right?
So yeah, because
I'm not gonna like.
Yeah, because the skills aren't that granular, right? So
No.
it's gonna be, yeah, probably melee.
Right.
If you don't have that skill, it's just a might roll.
Yes, that is what I have. I have a strength roll, you mean, right?
Yes. Sorry.
Yep.
I forget. Might is a skill. Strength.
Yes.
Is what I meant.
I do not have melee. I do not have stealth, so. But I have more strength than agility right now, so I will. So I would just go for strength.
All right.
And no modifiers on this. Or do I have?
No, because we're not actually in combat
Okay.
or anything. So it's really just about like, do you get a success or more?
Let me see here. Looks like.
Oh my God, you got a success!
Success!
Somebody rolled successfully
take
and
it.
did not need to spend willpower.
That's
on
what they look like. Yeah.
I'll take it. So yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, you get it in his face. There are rules for poisons, and I'm trying to remember how they work.
They do damage to a specific stat.
Hallucinogenic poison.
Isn't it?
So the hallucinogenic poison, the full effect is you take 1 point of damage to empathy each round until you are broken.
Right.
Oh, and there's a limited effect as you take 1 point of damage to empathy. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I got.
Okay. Shit, yeah. So, like, there's a moment where he's like, you kind of come out of nowhere and like hit him with this thing, and like, he's blinking, he coughs. What is this, like a powder? Or
Yeah, I've kind of, so I went out and gathered this, and I have like a mortar pestle type thing, and I just kind of grind it up, and I've noticed that's like the most effective way to carry this, because it can be immediately used. If I need to put it like on a blade or something, I can like get some oil and infuse the hallucinogen into the oil if necessary, but
Nice.
I don't have a blade, I just have a staff, so I hit people and pour powder up their noses.
Yeah, so like there's a moment where he's, just about to like say something about this stranger in camp, and then he's got powder in his face, and he's blinking and coughing, and nobody seems to have like spotted you because you're just far enough away from camp. Like nobody's checked on him, and then like the coughing turns into like, eyes watering and like snot running out of his nose, as he looks up, and even in the firelight you can see like his eyeballs are just like dinner plates, or his pupils are like dinner plates in his sockets. Yeah. As he just stands there, and for a minute just like fucking like drools some, and like,
so when that happens, I like, he's got his like wide eyes looking at me, and I want to start him on a bad trip, and so I just kind of quietly like bare my teeth and growl.
Yep. Yeah. That'll do it. I don't think you even need to make a roll there. Like, I think his perception is so like whacked out at the moment that like he just doesn't know what's going on. He like kind of falls to the ground and like starts like trying to crab crawl backwards like through the underbrush away from you. You seem to have gotten a reprieve for the moment. Meanwhile, I should say in about 15 minutes we'll take a break so that I can make sure that my kid goes to bed.
Yes.
But and meanwhile, Arland, everybody's calling for tales, and they're all shouting out like the names of different songs, some of which you've heard before, just because you know how that goes, right? Like there's kind
Big bird.
What's that? Yeah, everybody's calling out for the Forbidden Lands version of Freebird.
So Arland is going to assume that some of his friends are going to try to be sneaking close, so he's going to play a little loudly under the pretense of making sure both fires can hear him, right?
Okay.
And he's gonna. Those are all wonderful suggestions, but I've got a new story to tell all of you. A new grand tale that I know you all will be excited to hear. And he tells a story that, might just be like any other kind of like average heroic tale at the time, right? But like the core of the story is this village at the fork of a river who's been dealing with basically evil in the town for so long, and the brave blacksmith dwarf woman is trying to help free her town, and basically it's a not so subtle like, hey, I'm telling you this story, but you guys know exactly what's happening, and basically also within the story suggesting like, hey, now's the time to strike, like kind of thing. Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the village, and then in the story, like it happens, and the villagers are very grateful, and the people that came in were now heroes, and but yeah. So
nice.
So we're encouraging the slavers. That's the story.
I'm really
I love it. I love the story.
I'm really hoping the slavers and the bandits will wipe each other out. Like
that would be great.
I don't think it's going to happen that way, but that's what I'm hoping for. So
awesome. So your intent here, it sounds like, is to get them like hyped up to go and do the thing that they're here to do.
Yeah. And I don't know if it'll come across, but like with the slight spin of like, and the village was saved and they were grateful and they weren't touched kind of thing, right? Like get who you're after and leave the town alone kind of message in there as well kind of situation. But yeah.
Cool.
Don't they want the town though? Isn't that the whole thing?
I thought
Arland is weaving magic right now with his little halfling tongue.
I'm hoping that they'll weaken each other up, or at least they'll have their hands full taking the bandits away, right? That's what I'm hoping for. But
okay.
I will also, in the middle of that, loudly talk about how
maybe you should talk about how one side of the camp looks better than the other side.
No, I talked about how there was a brave goblin who warned the town of an attack, and so like he helped the villagers get all into one spot to be safe and secure while this went down. And I'm really hoping Nissel hears me when I talk about that part.
Gotcha.
All right, but yeah, my intent is to get him like, let's do this.
Nice. So it sounds like manipulate
or performance
or for performance. Yeah, sorry. I forget that there is a performance skill, and yes, you are performing. You're performing a tune.
And I'm playing with my lute.
You are.
Which gives me a modifier. All right. I'm almost flashing the burning wheel. I was like, how many persona can I spend? Oh wait, wrong game. Okay.
Wrong game.
Wrong game. All right.
I don't have to tell you what's going to happen if you fail.
You don't. But that looks pretty good.
That's a success, and there's no reason to push, so those skulls don't mean squat.
That's okay.
At the moment.
It's 2 successes in a row.
Right? Your luck is turning around.
I hope I get success. I rolled 8 dice on that one.
Man, 2 successes on 8 dice is good odds. So yeah, like it's a catchy fucking tune, and like all of these, they go from like head nods to like picking up the chorus, as you get through like those bits of it, right? Nissel, you can hear the song. You're close enough, so you are not required to act on on that, but the message gets through, right?
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, I think anybody that's you're all pretty much close enough to hear what's going on. If not the specific words, you could at least catch that, like, you know, there's joviality going on in the camp. Some whoops and hollers and laughs, and Arland's distinctive halfling voice ringing out, kind of over the crowd.
Leading them in a charge to go take down the town.
Yeah, well, and both groups around the campfires, like, have all kind of turned, and, like, at the, you know, at the points where they've picked up, you know, the few words, like, you can hear them singing together. It's rough and raucous, as this kind of group tends to be. But
The halfling united the slavers.
And like, there's this moment where like when they're all singing with them, like he's all joyous and smiling, but like when a chorus hits, right, and like they all look at each other and like no one's looking at Arland, like just like this like fuck, like dark look across his face, like god damn it, you know, like, and then as soon as someone looks, the big smiles back, and yeah, so
yeah, nice. Yeah. So like as your song finally ends, right, and everybody, you know, calms down. They pass some heavily watered down wine around. It's what they got at the moment. The big orc kind of looks across the fire at you, and he says, "Well, that's it's a livelier tale than we've heard telling. I can't even remember when. What's your name, friend? Yeah, bring him some rabbit."
I am Arland Cookrose.
You wanna roll your reputation?
Hell yeah! Don't know what it's gonna do, but I'll roll it.
Normally,
We might have to kill the halfling.
How do I roll my reputation? Probably just the dice, huh?
Yeah. I guess I should have looked and seen if it actually. Like,
What if Arland just becomes the leader of this crew?
No.
He turns them into a bunch of merry men that go around singing and doing good.
Yeah, I think you just need to roll the two dice.
Hey.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah. He says, "Huh. I actually heard of you. The dwarf mentioned something about you. You're from her town, aren't you?"
Was it that obvious in the song?
Like he shrugs.
And then I say, you know, she's not the only one fed up with the bandit situation.
Yeah, and he kind of like he's you know, he's kind of chuckles at his like well, don't no fear, and he like kind of gives you like one of those like bro backhands in the shoulder, only his arm weighs like 50 pounds.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, Crosset will be liberated pretty soon. We're just waiting on word. And then he like stops and he goes, of course, if that song's anything to go by, I suppose that whatever word we were waiting for we got, eh?
And I kind of like lean in conspiratorially, like a stage whisper, and it's like, yeah, this is the word.
The word.
Yeah. And he turns and he goes, "Oi, false." And this goblin comes, like slipping through the shadows, from the other campfire area. And it's he's a goblin, so he's about your size. He's missing like 2/3 of an ear. And he gives you a big ass grin, and you can see that on the same side of his face he's got like it just looks like he got raked by something with claws. So when he smiles, it's almost more horrible than what his face would look like normally.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. And the orc goes, you ought to slip down to the village. Let the blacksmith know that it's time. And the goblin false is like, all right, as long as it's finally time that we're gonna do something.
I raise my hand and I say, big orc friend.
He turns. Oh, sorry, Carsus.
Carsus. False here seems like a very sneaky fellow, but since I am from the village, it will be less suspicious if they see me returning to town and I can more freely go talk to the blacksmith. Would you want me to go tell her instead?
Oh, okay. Now you're manipulating.
That's true. Also,
So
he's being honest, though. He's like, I'll go do it for you. Like,
Oh yeah. No, I believe that you'll go do it.
I wouldn't mind if I just walked back in myself.
yes, it's like, can I get out of here and let them warn them at the same time? Like, let's kill two birds with one stone here. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Would I get a bonus modifier for my song and kind of rousing these guys to action?
For your performance earlier?
Sure.
To
General
unite
goodwill.
the camp finally again, since they seem to have some kind of falling out before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see what one of those is, but I see a 1. Okay.
One success. That's good enough.
Yep. You got one success. False kind of like gives you a look and then gives Carsus a look, and there's a kind of a shift, like while he weighs the decision, and he's like, maybe we ought to let the halfling go. Nobody's gonna pay him no mind, right? And false kind of shrugs and says, fine, no problem. I'll just get the boys sharpening the blades, eh? And the two of them kind of nod, and it's that like two friends that have been having an argument that wordlessly like have come to an understanding, so they're just like, all right, you go do your thing, and depart. And Carsus leans over and he's like, best finish that rabbit quick. These boys have been waiting for a while. It was about to get real ugly up in here. You came at just the right time. And he
Glad I could be of
pats you
help.
heavily on the like, goes to do it on the shoulder, but his hand's just too large and like catches like part of your head. It's unpleasant and awkward.
they would have killed each other.
Yay! I'm glad I did them this favor.
You rolled really well on everything that you've done since you came into this camp.
Well,
So good on you. I need to get to what Nissel wants to do because I want to bounce around a lot, but also I need to take about a 10-minute break because
Right.
11-year-old won't go to bed on his own. So stick around. We will be back in a moment. Stay tuned.